The blue-winged olive is a commonly misidentified or hard to identify mayfly in the Baetis family, or it is the Baetis family of the mayflies. Possibly why it was not identified to be included in Art Flick's 1947 Streamside Guide. But this is Art Flick's version of the blue-winged olive, imitation of the blue-winged olive mayfly. I'm using a blue dun. This is a rooster feather, but it comes off of the back inside of a neck where you're starting to get into the saddle. The tail on this fly is extra long, so I am looking at it compared to the length of the shank and tying it way longer than the length of the shank. And I'll just wrap. I put a layer of thread down first because things, whatever I'm tying onto the hook, will stay on the hook better if it's got some thread to lay against. And then bring my thread back. I am going to put one wrap underneath of the wing, or underneath of the tail, just to help it stand up as I wrap back on it. And I'm trying to pay attention to where that end of the hook is there, or where the hook begins to curve down. For the body, I'm using this olive wool, which I have teased out and mixed with some of this under hair from a muskrat. So I've mixed those together, and it doesn't take much. It's not a very big hook. So just a little bit here that I've teased out, mixed together, and then I'm going to wet my fingers, spin that little noodle. It's a small hook, so it's not going to take much. According to the recipe for this fly in The Founding Flies by Mike Valla, tie it on either a 18 or a 16, because these are small mayflies. And then the only other part is the front hackle, which I also have a dark blue dun feather. I'm going to clip off below the fuzz on the butt end and just pull down on a few of those butt end barbs so that I can give it a crew cut. Just cut right along the side of the rachis to get really short little barbs that'll help that thread catch that feather. And a long tail, also an oversized hackle on this mayfly imitation. I'll grab that feather with my hackle plier and just give it a nice healthy front hackle. Normally on a dry fly the hackle is 1 to 1.5 times the gape of the hook. On this one it's extra long, and so 2 or more of the gape is fine. And there's quite a lot of hackle on it. So the hackle is going to imitate both the legs and the wings of this fly. One of the characteristics of the blue-winged olive is that the dun tends to spend quite a bit more time on the water prior to flight. I'll wrap over that rachis or stem, pull back on it and wrap back against it to be sure that it's caught in. I'll see if I can snap that out. Way better to snap out than it is to cut, because you get a much closer cut. And then one of the easier ways for me anyway to make sure I don't catch any of the hackle fibers in is to do a half hitch or a double half hitch. I think because of the size of the head that I have there, one of those double half hitches is going to do, because I am going to head cement that. Just push my scissors against the thread to cut it out, and then I will dip my needle in my jar of diluted goop, get a drop, and put that on the head. That'll soak in. It looks darker right now because it's wet, but it will dry clear. The eye on this number 16 hook is fairly small. I don't know if I can get a hackle feather all the way through it, but I don't need to. I just get it into the eye far enough to know that the eye is clean and tip it ready.